Cycles fight you. And I'm like, oh, you're Jen. Oh,
Yeah.
You've been on my show.
She's pretty hard. Yeah.
Yo, who you got coming up on the 30th and where you at?
I'm not sure who I'm fighting, but I'm fighting in Bridgeton. Like I said, man, I mean, I've just lost 2 fights in a row, so I mean, I'm going out headhunting. I'm sorry to say, whatever it is, it's headhunt season. And
where's Justin Bush?
Where's he?
That's the last guy. That was 3 fights back. I remember you slammed him into the right through the mat. I felt what it looked like.
It's ironic. The same slam is what knocked him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Head placement.
I mean, I don't take anything away from Greg. That's what he went in there and he was supposed to do. You know.
Good fighter.
But I'd love a rematch against him. I die for a rematch. I'd pay him to fight me.
I know you can't. He's an amateur. Strike that, but you know what I'm saying. We're working on that for December for you, so we'll see if we can get that happening. I know that we've had some talk with him, and he's like you. You know, you guys that are in the top 5, there's a lot of people gunning for you and trying to get you on every card. So, you know, they kind of know what their next 2 and 3 fights are, but they may be a spot in December, and we're trying to sweet talk them into coming and giving you that match.
Belt, throw belt at him, man. I'm sure he'll come in.
I offered him my little sister. No. You know, we're working on it. We're doing what we can do. You know, so I didn't tell him I offered your sister too. But yeah, no, we're working on it. There's a lot of people that like to in this area, and we like to see it. You know, that's one of the fun things about a matchmaker and a promoter in this area is I don't favor anybody as far as, you know, you don't get easy fights on my cards. Everybody gets a fair shot to the best of my ability. But there's certain guys that I want to try and help get you tougher opponents each time so that you can move up. That's one of the things I love about Jay and Steve Knogle is that they want their guys to fight a little bit tougher guys each time to just keep testing them and find out where they're at. There's some gyms I do.
I keep saying it's not that damn hard. There's some guys that fight.
There's some gyms that I deal with that they want their guys to win every time, or you know, or they're really worried about their guys, and I'm like, well, then don't take the fight. You know, I mean, it's. Can I say this one time? It's not a direct reflection of how good a trainer you are if your fighter loses.
Right.
I mean, I swear, please get that in your head, all you guys out there, because if your fighter comes and he does a great showing, he represents himself and you and his camp well, and he loses a tough fight, good for him, man. I mean, you know, look at the UFC. These guys, none of them are undefeated except for Vegeta. But, you know, I mean, other than that, they've all got losses, and it's a learning process. And, you know, like, they get so upset or they're so worried about that it's a reflection of.
Well, I understand the guys that want to protect the guys and have them good records and everything, but I also don't like the guys that want to throw their guys in every single show, even if they're week to week after back, against anybody. They don't care. There's guys out there that just.
That's the other end of it.
You know, I don't like that. You're not giving your guy the adequate training that he needs, time to prepare. I mean, that's their training pretty much, is throwing him into a fight. And to me, that's not
40
training.
fights. Yeah.
I mean,
One thing good about that is just experience,
but that's all you're getting.
Getting your ass kicked is not a good experience.
I mean,
no, you're right. You're right.
I can name their names from getting knocked out.
I can name 3 or 4 guys that fight every week.
All your skills.
I mean, it's just
now you lost your confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know what anybody like sponsors do that. They send all these kids out there and they get beat up. Well, then it's like, what do they learn? The one kid's exceptional, and he's the one that rises to the top. Everybody else quits.
I mean, yeah, like you know, as a trainer, the hardest thing to do for one of your guys is to keep his confidence up, you know, and it's real easy for somebody's confidence to get blown away. Even if you go 3 rounds on a real good fight and you lose, and you know, and everybody's telling you, oh, you had a real good fight, you know, and you're like, well, I lost, you know. That's still what it comes down to is a loss. I mean. All losses ain't bad losses.
But that's for the fighter.
You're right.
That's for the fighter to deal with, though. Some of the trainers and schools are so worried about if their guy loses in a crowd that it's a reflection of them. And it's only a reflection of.
I think it's just as bad as a reflection if they go out and win every time.
Right, and it's a bad reflection if you let your guy in and he isn't adequately trained or he isn't in shape. You know, that's the bad reflection. But if your guy goes out there, balls to the wall, and does everything that you want him to do, and he just gets beat by a guy who had a better day that day, then that happens. And good for him. And there's a lot of, you know, getting your ass beat in an unfair match, you don't learn a lot. Having a tough fought loss can teach you a lot. Learning how to get past that jitters of freezing in the beginning is invaluable. I mean, there's a lot of things you can learn from a tough fight that we learn as trainers about our fighters too by putting them in tough fights that we didn't know, that you never learn from putting them in the easy ones. You know, now getting mismatched and getting your ass kicked, you know, that's different. Now you're moving into the trainer aspect. You've got a fighter I really like, Eric Vasquez.
Man, he looked good at Southern Impact stuff.
He took a kickboxing match his first fight, and I thought that was the best thing for the kid. And he lost a tough decision.
I'd like to see that as an MMA fight.
What's that?
Yeah,
he lost a tough decision.
I don't know if that guy could make weight.
And now
I imagine Eric would take it at whatever right now. He wants that.
He wants that guy again?
He came back and dominated in his first MMA match, and he's got his second one coming up on Sudden Impact 8. But he looked really good, and he's got the right mindset. He's not overly confident. He trusts you as a trainer to match him fair. He trusts that we have a good relationship as a matchmaker and trainer to match him fair. And he knows that he's not locked into he has to win everything. He's confident to win. And he's wanting to grow and learn, and you've instilled that in him. And you've impressed me as a young trainer teaching guys too. So that's awesome.
Well,